For those of you that are like me, where you have limited time and you feel like every time you're with your horse, you have to be achieving something. I want to encourage you, and I'm encouraging myself while I'm talking to you about this, that this is achieving something, that this is really important, that you need, count this as a training session. Actually, today, this is my training session with him. I wanted to do another target training video with him, and we may still do it this afternoon, but as I was driving to my ranch this morning, I was thinking that that I really needed to just spend time with him outside of a training session. That from the minute I started working with him, that it's been go, go, go. It's been achieve, achieve, achieve. And as far as which behaviors, how much behavior, how much progress can we make? Can we record this? So on. And I've recorded every step of the way. But I haven't done this with him. I haven't just chilled with him. And so it was starting to sneak into our other training, the training sessions that we were recording and trying to achieve stuff. It was starting to sneak into those that I hadn't, show in those sessions that I hadn't spent time like this with him, because he was, anytime I would approach, anytime I'd go to start a session, he was just on me. Like he was glued to me. He would not, there was no space. And even though I had worked really hard at establishing that space and establishing food taking, skills, and him being really patient and understanding a stand stay and targeting and all of that, it was like from the minute he saw me, he was on. He was 100% on, and there was, under no circumstances in his mind was he thinking that I would ever possibly just come up and just hang out with him. And so when I started to really realize how intense I had created a little bit of an anxiety ball by doing that in him, I realized that I needed to focus on this for a little while. I needed to start inserting more of these sessions with him. And so I'm writing this down as a training session. There's a bug. I don't know what that is. I'm writing this down as a training session. We are achieving today. We are achieving relaxation. We're achieving no expectations time. We're achieving a better relationship. We're achieving that he understands that sometimes we're training and sometimes we're not. And it's okay for us just to chill here. So, the camera's going to turn off. I'm going to stop recording, and I'm just going to hang out here with him. I'm just going to, write in my journal, or just think, just reflect on the day. I'm just going to breathe with him. I'm just going to hang out with him and show him that sometimes we are just relaxing, that we are just here. We're just not doing anything. And by saying that, though, he is still doing stuff. I am still doing stuff. We are still very much acting on conditioned behaviors already at this point. So I would have never walked in here and done this with him had I not established that, that he understood the rules of the game as far as the person, that I need space, that you can't run over me, that you can't bite. And I hadn't spent the time training him on what else to do. So I don't ever start here. I don't ever just come in here with food and just hang out with this horse and be like, well, I sure hope that, hi sweeties. I sure hope that he doesn't bite me in the face right now. Hi, sweetie. This is not where I start. I start with in protected contact. We're just hanging out. He's on the other side of the fence. We either start with a training session, or we could start with like this, where he's eating some alfalfa and I'm on the other side of the fence. That would be fine. And then we progress to this point. But it's important to insert these times. It's important to consciously and intentionally create these times with your horse, and to think of them as training sessions, to think of them as you guys making progress together, because without them, it can get quite intense and quite dangerous, and your horses can become frantic anytime they see you. They can start thinking that, okay, humans around, like we're going, like it's training time, let's do. And so we can never just take a breath, right? Did you get a little anxious because I got worked up, started talking really fast. So this is achieving. This is doing by not doing. We are making progress by not intentionally trying to make progress. And it is strategized and it is planned, and we've worked up to this point. This wasn't just like I'm just going to go hang out with this horse today, even though I don't really know him. We were worked up to this point, but once we get to this point, or, even if it was in protected contact where I'm sitting on the other side of the fence, I encourage you to make this a part of your normal routine. Maybe even start your days off with your horse this way, where you come in and this is the first thing you do, give them a little alfalfa, hang out with them, spend some time, then walk out, go get your training gear, everything as they're finishing up their alfalfa, and then start your training session. So that's definitely an option, and that helps them because then they have something else to eat on first, they get to chill and relax, and they don't have to do anything to get it, it's just there. And then you can start your training session with a horse that is in a much more chill frame of mind, and is not anxious for food, not anxious for what you have. And you too will be settled from your day. Maybe you're here after a long day of work and it was a stressful day. You get to come chill with your horse for a little bit, have a relationship with your horse, have fun. This is fun. I know, in our go world, go world, we never get to just chill and relax. Good boy.